Alright, I'm gonna do a quick farm update before I take off. My dispatcher should be getting in the office right about now. Right about now! And a funk soul brother, right about now! Anyway, today is Sophie's birthday, so happy birthday to Sophie. I'm working on getting this place cleaned up, and Kaplinger, she's coming down this week, or up this week, I should say. This is the remains of David Ray's campground, which is a filthy pigsty. Yeah, Bill. Oh, yeah. Bill and them have a shindig just about every Sunday. And a couple people have reported back to me important events. Judas is basically leaving trash all over Bill's property like he did mine. And Bill's getting tired of it. And Bill went out of his way to get David Ray a job with Ian. And he's slacking off there as well. He's also slacking off on Bill. And Bill basically said that he likes David Ray, but he's pretty much fed up with him. He lives like a troglodyte, basically, without saying troglodyte. He's a filthy slob. He's a filthy pig. He's lazy, blah, blah, blah. And he won't let David Ray talk trash on me over there anymore, because he has more respect for me than he does him. However, he also said he's not going to pick sides. He's basically harboring him because he feels sorry for him. Nobody wants him because he's a piece of shit. And it took me long enough to realize it. And Deb was like, basically saying that she thought that both David Ray and I both were acting irrational, if you will. And Cindy went to my defense and said that, not a lot, because Cindy's, Cindy's on the fence, so to speak, about certain things, but she also doesn't really want to be implicated. She's more on my side than anything, but she doesn't want to be implicated, so I'm kind of implicating her now. But she basically went to my defense, and nobody watches my videos anyway, so it doesn't matter who I implicate. My brother's pretty much the only one who watches my videos. Maybe 10, 20 years from now, somebody might actually watch my video. But anyways, this is mostly just for documentation purposes anyways, just in case there's some sort of legal issue, whatever. So, cat, always on her feet. Cindy said that it really started getting bad around January. And she was basically implicating Sherry, because when Sherry came down, David Ray got worse. He thought he was going to monkey branch to her. So he was like, fuck Kano. He's been trying to monkey branch to Bill and Shirley since 2017, 2018. But if they had him move into their greenhouse the winter of 2017 to help take care of their greenhouse over the winter. Because Bill was an over-the-road truck driver, and he didn't want Shirley and Lola, because Lola was pushing 100 years old. And Shirley's like, I don't know, 10, 15 years older than Bill. And and he didn't want neither one of them having to struggle with the greenhouse that winter before he relied on Jerry. But Jerry wasn't that reliable either. When it comes to Jerry Diamond and David Ray, I used to think David Ray was the lesser of two evils. Now, I think it's the other way around. But Jerry and I have never been enemies. You know, Jerry's been the enemy of a lot of people, but he's never been my enemy. And he was Judas's enemy. So therefore, he was by default my enemy, but only because Judas was my friend. David Ray is Judas. So, but then around 2019, when Sarah came into town, the two of them would trash talk me and bad mouth me, backstab me, sabotage. Well, David Ray was doing most of the sabotage. Sarah was just a backbiter and a backstabber. But they would trash talk me all the time over at Bill and Shirley's, to my mother. That was in 2019. But then Sarah left about a year ago, and then David Ray mellowed out because he had no allies. And so he went back to being normal, so to speak. He was still sabotaging me and backstabbing me, but he was doing it incognito, so to speak. He was being passive-aggressive about it. And so Sherry came into town, and she took him to a whole nother level. And this is basically what I said to Deb Yoder in this very long, what we call Jerry Diamond letter, because Jerry Diamond writes these really, really long letters. And I normally don't, but I did this time. And anyway, so Bill, Cindy said it really escalated. It started getting bad around January, which is about when Sherry came into town. And then Cindy said that when I came home to those dead and sick goats, and David was just off gallivanting around like it wasn't his problem. He went to Grandma's with Sherry when he should have been here helping me with the goats. Our goats. They weren't just my goats. They were his goats too that were sick. My goats died, but he only had like 3 left anyways. You know. But anyways, my goats died. Both our goats were sick. And he didn't care. He just ran off with Sherry to Grandma's and was like, fuck, you're not my problem, you know. So that was it. That was my last straw. After that, I was pretty much done with him. And that happened in March. So Cindy said it started getting bad in January. And Bill said, no, it's been getting bad. It started getting bad 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, this is 2022, that would be 2019, when Sarah was here, trash talking me with Judas or David Ray. So that confirms what I said to Deb Yoder, and it also confirms what I said to Lori Blanchard, because I told Lori basically the same thing. I just gave Deb more information. I gave Deb more details. I didn't give Lori as much information because I wrote Lori first. And I'm closer to Deb. Deb and I know, understand, and probably trust one another better. Lori's more on the outskirts of the community. Deb's more on the inskirts of the community. And I'm kind of on the edge. I'm not really on the inskirts or the outskirts. I'm on the edge of the community. And Lori is more on the edge too, but I'm more now on the edge where Lori is, where I was more closer to the circle or in the circle like Deb. Now I'm more outside the circle like Lori. But anyway, I can care less either way, to be honest. So I gave Deb more information. But this is basically exactly what I told Deb and Lori. It all started in 2019, and Sarah started it, and David escalated, and basically that's basically when he started showing his cards, when he started showing his true colors. And I should have got rid of him then. Should have got rid of him a long time ago, but I didn't. Because I'm too fucking nice. That's why they say nice guys finish last. Don't fucking be a nice guy. Sucks. So anyways, that's why this is my last straw. Sophie came into the picture, probably serendipity, being at the right place at the right time. Sophie came into the picture about the right time because I was giving up. I was like, I'm done with all this shit. So I'm going to try one more time. If this doesn't work out with Sophie, I'm done. I'm done. The only way I'll do it again is if my family is here to help, because I'm just doing, they say blood's thicker than water, and I usually would disagree, but I don't know. Maybe blood is thicker than water, because they say, you can't get rid of family. You can get rid of your friends. Your friends can backstab you and then just do whatever the hell and not be held accountable as much as family can. So maybe there's some truth to that whole blood's thicker than water, and the fact that they're your blood. They can't go anywhere. They have to have some sort of accountability because they're stuck with you. You're stuck with them. Yeah, they may screw you over today, but later down the road, they'll be like, shit, now I got to deal with this crap, And my brother's kind of learning that, because he did a lot of bad things when he was younger. And now he's having to work to prove himself because for a long time, nobody trusted him. I didn't trust him. I'm slowly starting to trust him more. I mean, he has cleaned up his act a lot. I just hope he stays that way. But the more he stays clean, the more I'll trust him. But basically all this stuff is going to go to my nieces and nephews because my own children don't want nothing to do with me, really. My youngest son's fucked up in the head. My oldest son, I don't even know. So their mothers never really let me be a part of their lives. So this is all going to pretty much my nieces and nephews and my goddaughter. So anyways, a lot happened yesterday. That's just the tip of the iceberg. So basically, everything that I said is coming to pass in those letters. Oh, and Deb also said that Judas has till winter to find another home for them goats because she's not keeping them. He's only coming down every 2 weeks to check on the goats. She's getting firsthand, and I told her this in the letter, in the Jerry Diamond letter, she's getting firsthand experience, firsthand knowledge of what I'm going through. Everybody's getting to see what I went through here on this land with David Ray. So it's kind of good that he's over at Bill's, because now everybody gets to see him for who he really is. His fake facade is going to fade away. So this is my new minivan that I bought. It is compatible to this minivan, which is my mother's. Was my mother's. The engine seized up on this one. It had some other problems. I brought it down in, I think, 2013 for a mechanic friend, a shade tree mechanic friend to work on, and he never worked on it. And then when I finally got it to another mechanic, The motor was seized up. So this van, my Yiska, one of my associates, she had this van and another van that's compatible to this van and each other, obviously. Her son wrecked one of them, and I forgot what's wrong with this one, but it seems like this one needs the least work, and I also think it's the newest one out of the three. So I'm going to get it up and running, and then use the other two for spare parts. And the only thing really wrong with this, cosmetic-wise, it needs to be cleaned, is the roof, the ceiling damage, but I could put that fabric tack and tack it up, and it'll be fine. As long as it doesn't get any worse, I can tack it. So I'll work on that. I brought it here instead of taking it to John's because John lives right next door to David Ray. Right now, David Ray's staying at Bill's. John lives right next door to Bill. And so I don't want David Ray to do any sabotage to me because he will. So I just brought it here for now. I'll have the money to get the other van from Yiska probably next month. So by then, maybe Judas will be gone from Bill's place. I don't know yet. Anyways, I don't know how long Bill's gonna put up with his bullshit. But yeah, he'll find out that he thought Jerry Diamond was bad. David Ray is actually worse. I mean, they both can be bad. I mean, if given too much power, a lot of people can be bad for that matter, you know. But Jerry can be a tyrant. But again, right now, Jerry's the lesser of evils. And I've never really had a problem with Jerry, personally. Other people have. So I kept Jerry at a safe distance. And now he's an ally just because we have a common enemy. But it's kind of like what my ex-wife's ex-boyfriend said to me once. So she cheated on me with someone else, and then he basically used her and threw her to the curb. So she ended up with this other guy. He was kind of a criminal type. Not kind of, he was criminal type. But anyways, she tried sticking him on me, but I paper trailed him and sent him all the documents, and he went away. Because I ran his astrology. I got to figure out how he thinks. And so he thought like me, so to speak. I don't know what that goes to. You didn't get it? I was hoping you did, whatever it was. Alright, anyway. I lost my train of thought now. Mimi distracted me. Oh yeah. So my ex wife, her ex boyfriend, basically came to me later and wanted to be friends with me on Facebook. And I was like, "Why do you want to be my friend?" And he said, "Any enemy of my enemy is a friend of mine." And I didn't realize how true that was until all this went down. So anyway, Jerry and I are basically friends because we have a common enemy. Um, we're not really friends. We're just allies at this point. Because he's the lesser of two evils. So, anyways, last but not least, my south neighbor wants to sell his property. Josh was interested in buying it, but then Josh didn't work out because he was too demanding and I don't know, he was probably a narcissist too. I don't know. It just seems like I'm surrounded by crazy people. But anyways, he just kept trying to throw demands on me and stuff, and he was wishy-washy, flip-floppy, and it's like he was trying to order me around. It's like, dude, don't come into my house and start ordering me around. Get the fuck out. So I pretty much got rid of him. And in a way, I could be passive-aggressive too, because I kind of basically got rid of him in a passive-aggressive way. I just kind of backed off of him and gave him the cold shoulder. And then when he picked up on the fact that something's not right, he said something to me about it, and I said, basically what it is, you know, when you first came down, it seemed like we were on the same page, and the more time goes on, it seems like we're less and less on the same page. So I let him down gently, you know. I could be a diplomat like that. But basically, he just wasn't working out. And that's basically what I told him. It says it's not working out. We're not on the same page. So I'm too nice. I should have just said, "You're a douchebag." That's what my brother would have done. But anyway, my brother wants this front piece. And Sophie will want the back piece. And so I'm sure my brother will like the trees as well. But my brother will probably more likely want the front. And of course, you can let trees grow and or plant some, you know, fruit trees and whatnot. I mean, basically, that's what I've been doing. I've been letting trees grow in the field. And I can always cut them out, but this is good cropland. Some people are mad at me because I let the trees grow because it's good cropland. But you know, this is the year of the Sabbath. I forgot what the sabbatical year. And that's when you let the land rest. You don't do anything to it. Well, I've kind of been doing that for 7 years now. It's been resting. I figure I can always cut trees out when I need to. And I'll cut out the ones I don't want. Once I get this fence done, and if Judas would have helped me with the fence like he said he would, I'd have had goats running in here keeping all this clean. But no, I got to pay somebody else to do that. So, that being said, Josh wanted me to ask the neighbor if he's interested in selling. Well, I did, and he said yes, but Josh is not going to be in the picture. I don't even want Josh as a neighbor anymore. So, my brother's interested in buying at least half of it. Sophie's interested in buying at least half of it. Sophie would be more interested in the woods. My brother would be more interested in the front. So here's my game plan. The halfway mark is right about here somewhere. somewhere between here and there. I got it figured out. I just haven't marked it on this side. I marked it on the other side. So it's around here somewhere, between this pole and that pole. Maybe the next one. But anyway, somewhere around in here is the halfway point. So my brother would still have some trees. But anyways, my thinking is, so I've already been using this as a driveway. But we basically put a driveway right down the middle, you know? So all the way back here to the halfway point. And then Sophie will have access to her property. My brother can use this driveway or can use the other driveway that he has up there. And I can widen that driveway and make it better for big trucks because the driveway that I got now sucks for big trucks. I mean, I can get it in and out, but it was better for a tanker, and I was doing tankers at the time, but I should have made it another 20 foot wider. At least 10. But anyways, 20 would have been better, especially if I have a flatbed with a split axle come in here. So I'm thinking I put the driveway, or we put the driveway right down the middle of the fence line, and then I just move the fence line over so many feet. And then Sophie will have access to her piece, and then I've pretty much been driving this road anyways. So, yeah, just finish the road down this way. Then I'll just come use the road down here like I normally do. Sophie can use the road to come to her place, and my brother can use the road to go to the back part of his property, or he can use the other driveway to go to the front. And then we can determine how wide we want the road to be. And we could probably still put the fence up and then just basically have a road on either side, you know? Or maybe even put power line down the middle. Yeah, that's probably what we should do. Put a power line down the middle and then make the road. I think you got to have 15 feet on either side. So we can make the road, the power line, the fence line, if you will, all the way back. And then that way, we can drive either side of the power lines. We'll keep the power lines clear because the power company wants the power lines to be clear, like I think 15 feet on either side. So that'd be perfect. Just run the power lines down the middle. We keep the road on both sides, keep it all clear. You know, we can put down rock, we can put down gravel, we can just leave it dirt, whatever. Just bring in gravel as we need it, you know, fill in some of these ruts, so to speak. And then Sophie can build her campground back here, and I can do my farm stay over here, and my brother can do whatever he wants on his piece of property. I think that would be perfect. So that's my farm update for today. Yeah. So maybe that's what we should do. Run the power lines down the middle, have the road on either side, give Sophie an easement, and then that way she can come back to the back part of the property. But other people, like the government and whoever else, it won't be public access. It'll be a private road. So only, well, the government, they can do whatever the hell they want anyways because they got the guns. But the power company will have the easement to come down to here and then wherever we want them to go after that. And then, but it would not be public access. Anybody coming down here without permission would be trespassing. So yeah, and then like I said, I'll have I can have my circle drive up front. My brother can even do a circle drive if he wanted to up front. It'd be a big circle, but nonetheless, you know, you can get heavy equipment in through this entrance. My brother could get heavy equipment in through this entrance and then use the other entrance as his personal driveway. And then that one's Tails. He's got the long legs and the long tail. He's funny. They're all funny. But anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna go get some fuel in my pickup truck. So if my mom gets down here before I do, she won't be running on empty because the fuel light's on. So it's empty. It's gonna cost another $60 to fill it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the credit card right now, even though I just got paid. I'll just put it on the credit card. And then I'll just pay the credit card. After I allocate the funds, I'll focus on allocating my funds after I get on the road, after I get dispatched. Because right now I'm doing farm shit. So I took my lawnmower to the lawnmower guy yesterday on my way to pick up this minivan. And then yeah, I don't even know what I was gonna say. So once I get it fixed, then I'll probably get some new. I'll probably take my mom's lawnmower up and have it tuned and whatever, get it up to par, and then we'll end up taking it over to Kaplinger. And it'll be the Kaplinger lawnmower. We're still working on cleaning that up. My brother came down and helped weed eat and stuff till he busted his finger, helping me try to get the stupid deep freeze out of the building. It wouldn't it wouldn't fit to the door, so we had to cut the hinges off because my mom took her drill gun and it had the screwdriver bit. I didn't have a screwdriver bit, Phillips screwdriver bit on my screwdriver gun, so we used the angle grinder to grind it off, and then when the spring loaded thingy popped up, it got my brother's finger and almost cut his finger off, but it gashed it open, and now he's all like fucked up. So we'll probably use that black topper, take it over to Kaplinger, build a little pallet shed under it, and then my mom can park her lawnmower inside that pallet shed. And like these other pallet sheds that I built. And then, yeah. So, all right, bye.